I think that the actions this week will be the biggest part, right? In practice, if out there, filming and doing what you do on the practice field, I love that you are so vocal and so engaged in practice too. You're not just filming. So okay, so let me ask you this then. CSU for me, it was always our opener or like second week, very similar to this. It was always contentious. I knew as a Colorado kid what it was. I knew the fight I was getting into. Now, after last year's game, I know that you guys and everybody up there that was there knows the fight they're getting into. What do you want to see from the guys out on the field this week going into it, other than just, we got to go out and assert our will from a just perspective of like attention to detail and doing things correctly and the ability to not believe the bullshit they hear? Because one thing that I didn't have to deal with was social media. I didn't have to deal with some fucking guy sitting in his basement covered in Cheeto residue, jerking off Chicago Bear hack style, fucking commenting, and everyone's like, "Oh, this guy's right," when in actuality, like his opinion doesn't matter. So social media, in my opinion, like it puts people that are not fucking supposed to be on the same plane next to each other, and everyone's like, "Oh, they're equals." So
sure.
I just, what do you want to see from this group this week on the practice field, in the meeting room, and then from a leadership perspective, Shedeur and Travis and Jimmy, and I'm going to say Seton in there because I would guess that Seton is a pretty vocal and active and physical dude at practice. He's not just going to sit back and I don't care if he's a freshman or not. He's not just going to sit back and take this. So what would you like to see from that group? And I'll shut up. I know it was a long question.
Honestly, the people you name, it's like, say Jimmy during a game, say even when the defense is out there, his helmet is in his hand or his helmet's on the bench or whatever, and he's there yelling the whole time, motivating the defense. You could look at it, say later in the game or earlier in the game, whatever it is, before halftime. Yeah, it's idiot. We're getting blown out 28-0. He caught a pass. It's idiotic. You should have ran out of bounds. But he's like, bro, fuck that. I'm a warrior. Like, I'm about to go try to truck somebody. I'm about, like, he wants to get involved. He wants to get active. Like, the people you named, they have that mentality. They have, it's just we should be naming a lot more people. So
Yes, we should be.
so those people, it's like you're kind of seeing what you want to see out of them. So what about we got to see that out of everybody. And you're telling the defense, like, that's why, bro, I damn near lost my voice this weekend and today in practice. It's like, bro, fuck recording. I'm telling the D line, whether it's scout D line or whatever, because my dad made a lot of things live today, like I just told you on the phone. Because he's like, bro, we not dealing, it's live. We tackling, we doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? We gonna toughen up. We gonna fix these problems. And I'm telling D line, bro, whoop they ass. Let show us that this person can't get the job done, so someone else could be in there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, impose your will starting today. You know what? So it won't be no faking or flogging. Let's handle this right now instead of let's handle it on Saturday. So everything about this week is just different, from the coaching to the practicing to everything. It's from the top to the bottom. It's just different. That shit got to be fixed, and things gotta happen, and that should be happening.
So look, we walk into CSU for Saturday night. It's going to be another nationally televised game. All eyes are going to be on it to see how we respond. Let's be real. Nobody's turning in to watch the sheep. Everybody's turning in to watch the Buffs. And that's one thing. After I say that, I want to take this opportunity real quick to just let you know, but also let the chat know, and all the fans, and Bucky and Buck and Bailey. You need to cut this motherfucker. And Buck, this is some real shit I'm about to say. I think people have forgotten really, really, really fast what 1-11 felt like, what Carl Durrell felt like, what Mel Tucker felt like. Like, I always say this, but people used to walk up to me on the sideline the 1-11 year, or like the 4-8 Carl Durrell year at the beginning of his tenure. And fans used to walk up to me, and I'd be on the sideline, and No one's out there, obviously. No one gives a shit. And, the stadium's half full, and we're parading out guys that are not going to get drafted. And look, I understand Nate Landman is starting at middle linebacker for the Falcons, and he's an NFL player, and he's on those teams. I get it. But let's be real. We had one or two guys that were NFL players, and then a bunch of bankers. No offense to the bankers. But I think people, especially in Buffalo country, you've really forgotten what it was like. When people walk up to me and say, why do you support this shit? And I look at them and go, because one day it's going to be great again. And I don't want to be the guy that just supports when it's good. That's why. So
that's appreciated, bro.
I'm real sick of the CU faithful, and I don't give a fuck if you like me or not. I don't know you motherfuckers. I bleed black and gold. I don't bleed Colorado red, white, and yellow. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm loyal to that place almost to a fault, and I like it. I like where I stand. So personally, I think everybody really needs to step back and understand that the University of Colorado is relevant again. We have NFL draft picks on the field. We have a Hall of Famer as our head coach. We've got guys all over the sideline that are Hall of Famers. We've got a ton of eyeballs on us, and whether it's good or bad, they are there and focused. And people should be embracing this, not the minute we hit fucking adversity. Because I'm not going to say the first year losing 6 games by 1 score is adversity. That's a lesson, and it was learned. The minute we hit adversity against our rival at Nebraska, a team that we beat 36-14 a year before in Folsom, everyone's jumping fucking ship. Everyone wants to fucking leave. Everyone should be fired. No one can play. Shador can't play in the NFL. Travis Hunter isn't this. Jimmy Horn's not that. I mean, what the fuck? So I think if I was on that team and I was in that room, it would be very simple. Lock the gates, shut the doors, fuck our fans, fuck their fans. Everyone's a fucking target this week. I don't give a shit when anyone says it's all about us. We just need to come together and go do our fucking job. And then next week, all the pressure will alleviate if we do our job, because everybody in the chat and all the fans are just fucking mental cripples that can't handle their own emotions. So again, if you really think that 2 years ago, before they hired Coach Prime, that Colorado was in a better position than they are now and moving forward into the future, you need to turn your buff card in. You're a fucking idiot. You're an idiot. So I just wanted to get that out there, because I hear a bunch of this narrative from our side. From our side. Like, guys, regardless of struggle or game plan or losing, you're still a buff and a buff fan and a season ticket holder and a faithful. The pride and tradition of the Colorado Buffaloes will never be entrusted to the timid of the week, and y'all sound timid and fucking weak. I'm never going to get mad at the players or the coaches for failing. That somebody's going to lose and somebody's going to win. Somebody's going to be pissed off for a week and somebody's going to be happy for a week. We just lost to our rival at home. It was the biggest game for them in fucking history since 2000 or since 2001 when they played in the national title game. Facts. I know this because Will and Adam and all these fucking Nebraska people walking up to me like, this is incredible. The atmosphere's nuts. And I'm like, yeah, that's because we're here. So let's just be real deliberate in what we're saying here. If you actually think that for some reason in your fucked up brain that the University of Colorado would be better off without the last 2 year and a half and going on 2 years and the future of Coach Prime and what we're doing at the University of Colorado, not only from a college football perspective, from a cultural perspective, from black head coaches getting more opportunity, to everything that goes along with this, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to miss me with this bullshit.
No, 100%, bro. And he has a quote that says, "Fans only blow when you hot, bro." And that's apparent, you know. Whether it's
that is fucking fans only blow when you're hot. That's true. That's true. My fans on in the corner, I'm sweating like a whore.
Nah, and that's just the name of the game, you know. And you just got to use all of it as motivation, you know. You seeing your people switch up on you, you know, people are warranted to be mad, of course, bro. I'm mad as hell. That's why I'm not on here smiling and shit like I usually
Nothing
do.
wrong being mad.
Yeah, like so, but you know, we're on to a new opponent, and you just cool. It just is what it is. You see how it is, you embrace it, cool. Let's go do something about it. But it's always gonna change. It is what we gonna win again. We gonna have a good season. We gonna this and that's gonna happen, and everyone's gonna act like they never got mad or they never hit.
Exactly.
That's just the way it is, bro. That's part of the game, and
Well, as you know, as a player, and your dad knows, and everybody knows, anybody that's played knows. And there's all these people that played that forget when they stop playing. It's like they stop, and this maybe it's a fault of mine, but I can't stop being a football player, and it's why I do what I do, and it's just the way I am. I can't help it. But it's almost like people forget how motivating losing is.
for
Like,
sure.
there's nothing more motivating on this earth than underachieving or losing or looking bad when you know you're good. And there's nothing more motivating than, oh, I get another opportunity Saturday and no one thinks I'm going to be able to do it. Okay. And now you get to play the underdog role, being the favorite walking in. So I think that CU is in a great position right now to go out and just prove all the haters wrong and fucking go chop these people up on Saturday. What are you looking at from CSU just based on last year's game and how contentious it was and how crazy it was? What are you looking at moving on to the sheep here going into Saturday night?
Today was game plan day for the team, so I don't want to say specifically, but they do good things. They got a cool quarterback. They got a hell of a receiver, and cool running backs. The safety's actually all right, pretty good. The one that knocked Travis out the game, whether I want to say that or not. We just gotta, we just gotta do what we're capable of doing, bro. It's really like it's about us, bro. If we go out there and just excuse my language, we go out there and be hoes, then it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But if we go out there and do what we're expected to do, then we all know how it should turn out, and that's it's it's just really about us. It's not really even about them. I'll let them talk about and handle the game plan. I'll talk to you about that privately, but we just gotta do what we gotta do, bro. We just do what we're capable of doing, call what we're capable of calling, and we know how it should be.